Hello, everyone. Let's see. Make that a little lighter. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Um, I'll be talking about COVID-19 tonight, and every night at 6 o'clock. We want you to tune in and tell others because this is a real problem. We don't really see much progress happening. I mean, everybody just wants to keep talking and talking about the problem. But is there a solution? Why is nobody talking about solutions? I mean, we just want to keep rehearsing every day how many more cases we have. Yeah, I know that's unfortunate. It's going to keep rising because we haven't even reached our peak yet. Why? Because most people haven't even been tested yet. So obviously, that number only has one direction to go, and that's upwards. Also, because a lot of people have not actually been tested. Anybody that dies, it's possible that they're going to say they died of COVID-19 even if they didn't. So that number may even be inflated. But it doesn't matter. It's still, reflecting one thing, that this thing is capable of taking many lives. And we know that that is the reason why everybody has been told to stay home. And it is the best thing to do because we want to prevent the spread of this problem. It is a good thing for all of us to, make sure that we don't uh, get this disease to be spread to more people. But let's talk about something besides just the problem. Let's talk about what happens to you. What should you do if you get diagnosed, or if you don't even know for sure if you have the virus, but you're worried that you may have it? Is there anything you can do besides sit at home and just hold your hands and do nothing all day and fret or worry about it? Is there something we can do? Well, actually, there are very, very good things that we can do, but nobody's talking about that. And that's why this broadcast is all about is there are things, and very important things, that we should be doing to prevent it from going to the next stage. Because we can really divide this into 3 stages. The first stage is getting infected, and it takes a few days for it to develop, and so we call it stage 2, where you start to show symptoms and all that. And then it gets to stage 3, where if it progresses, you may become, your breathing and your respiratory system may become compromised, and you may need to be hospitalized and put on a ventilator. But before we reach stage 3, which is very critical and it's very hard at that point to do much besides medical intervention, is there something we can do before we get to that stage? Yes, there is in fact quite a few things that we can do to help prevent the progress of this to a very fatal type disease. That's where secondary prevention comes into place. Primary prevention is preventing the infection in the first place by doing the things we're doing, washing our hands, being socially distant, making sure that we, shut down everything and get everybody where they need to be at, so that at home, and social isolation, all of that. But beyond that, that just prevents the spread. If I have the infection or I'm worried I have it, what else can I do? Or how can I make sure that I make my system stronger, so that if I do get the disease, it won't progress to a more critical stage, like stage 3. So that's what I want to talk about, because I don't hear anybody in news and media talking about this, and this is actually very important. We can do some things to boost our immune system to make us stronger. These are things that we've all known that we need to do anyhow. It's not only that it boosts your immune system to prevent this infection, but it prevents you from getting other diseases, or can even reverse certain diseases like diabetes, which if you have, you're at an increased risk of developing a more critical form or stage of this disease if you get COVID-19. So what we need to do, the fact is, we know that most people will probably get the infection. But thankfully, because we're not immune compromised, our body will actually handle it. For the majority of people, for 90% of people, we already know that have gotten infected have done just fine. So yes, there's some people who say, well, why are we so worried about this? But every life matters. If this was you or your loved one, you would care. So we have to care. It doesn't matter if everybody, thank God, is not going to die from this disease. We still have to care if hundreds of thousands or millions of people die. So, right now, COVID-19 has taken more people than 9/11. And look how we cared about that and how many changes we made based on just that. So, of course, this is worth it. For those who are wondering, is this a conspiracy? Is this, a hoax? Well, first of all, let me say it's not a hoax. It's actually real. This is real. Now, it may be that some people are going to take advantage of the situation. That is the truth. That's life. It's called human beings. One guy sees a situation and is going to run, and the other person is going to run towards it. Some run away. Someone is going to take advantage of this situation and try to benefit from it. You may have even gotten phone calls of people trying to make money off of this. They're crazy, though. You should know that no way. No, you shouldn't fall for those schemes. But trust me, they wouldn't be doing it if people weren't falling for it, okay? And it only takes one or two to make them happy. So don't fall for those kinds of things. What about, okay, there's a conspiracy. I've seen many. I'm sure you all have. That maybe it's the 5G. Now, I want to explain. 5G is a big problem. We don't know enough about the 5G, but from what we have seen, there is probably some concerns that we need to have about 5G technology. Yes. However, they didn't invent COVID-19 for 5G. And why? Because I spent some time yesterday researching this in depth. And I know now because I've debunked it myself. I've looked at where all the 5G satellites, because there are websites like that, independent websites that shows you for the whole world where all the 5Gs are located in every city around the world. And there are places like Seoul, Korea that has a lot of 5G that doesn't have any COVID-19, hardly any COVID-19 cases. So obviously, that's not true. I looked at other places as well. There's lots of places that has 5G technology that does not also have a corresponding coronavirus thing. No, but there are some in America where you see that. You see that, yes, they're big cities, but it's because they're big cities. It makes sense. There's an association. Let me explain. There's a difference between an association and the cause of something. For instance, if I have a lighter in my pocket, you can't say a lighter in my pocket may be associated with, me smoking. So there's maybe saying, well, people who have a lighter in the pocket dies from smoking. But it's not the lighter in the pocket that caused them to die from smoking. It's something else. You understand? There's a difference. It may be an association, but it's not causal. Just because I have a lighter in my pocket don't mean I'm going to die from smoking, right? But there can be an association because there can be an increased likelihood that a person would have a lighter in their pocket because they're a smoker. But I could have a lighter. I don't smoke and have had a lighter in my pocket because I was going to light put something on fire or something. And so I have a lighter. It had nothing to do with smoking, right? So you need to understand there are differences like that. There are causal relationships and there are things that are not causal. They just happen to be associated. So there is an association with that they're 5G because they're big cities and where you want to put this technology. And of course, it's going to be big city. You don't want to try it in a rural area. You're going to try it in big cities. So yes, and the bigger cities also have more African-American people like us that are more likely to have been immune compromised. So of course, there is also a higher risk, especially of large cities such as Atlanta and New York and so on, to have a greater rate of death for African Americans, again, it's not because of 4 or 5G being there. It's because there's more African Americans there that are more immune compromised, and therefore we're more likely to die from this disease. That's just the unfortunate reality. We have more sickle cell anemia, more lupus, and other diseases that are more rampant in our African American population than in the rest of the population. So, okay, that's unfortunate for us, but there are also things that we can do, and lots of African Americans, like myself, who are trying our best to live a healthy life so we can not be so immune compromised. And even if you are not currently with any of these diseases, you can become immune compromised just because you're not taking care of your body. So you need to understand there's an important role that you need to do while you're staying at home. It's not just to sit at home and watch Netflix or binge watch every show. You need to be thinking about, how can I make myself healthier? This is my chance. Now, the number one reason, for instance, that people don't exercise, they say it's because they're too busy. They never have time. Well, this is a time now for you to say, hey, I am going to get fit. I'm going to exercise, and that will help my body to be stronger and will help me to be able to fight. If I should get the disease, I would be able to have a better chance, a better outcome, because my body is stronger, because I am a stronger immune system, so I can fight it. So this is one of the things we need to do. One is exercising. It's one of the most important things that we can do. So today I went outside with my kids who are home. Well, you may have kids as well at home, and we exercised for a while. We were playing soccer and volleyball, just out there for a few minutes, and we were getting sunshine. Guess what? That sunshine is also very important because it provides vitamin D. Vitamin D is a very, very important vitamin. In fact, we are finding out that especially among African Americans, we tend to be low on vitamin D. So we know this is a problem. I don't know if we're trying to avoid the sun because we don't want to get dark. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff. But trust me, that sun is good for you. And I'm telling you, you must stay out there for hours. We're talking about like 15 minutes, okay? After 15 minutes, that's it. You don't have to stay out there all day. But 15 minutes of sunshine out of exercising out there is great for your body. It's also fresh air that your body needs. So you can knock those out in a few minutes. Get exercise, sunshine, fresh air, and have a little fun while you're at it. So that's what I did today. And I recommend that you do too. Well, I'm not going to take any more of your time now. There are a whole lot more things we can do. But I just wanted to talk about that one first. And to tell you that we are putting together a Get Fit app to help everybody to get fit. So I want you to stay tuned for that, because that's something we're working on. And there's much more that you can do. There's one particular thing that I have not touched on yet, that we did in 1918 for the Spanish flu that was proven to be very, very effective. It's a very good thing that you need to stay tuned for. Check in again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Or if you happen to miss it, we're going to post it on our website at 360HBN, as well as on True Health TV. So check those out there. We also have other resources posted there on 360HBN. You will find that we have a whole COVID page that tells you all about the things that you need to do to get assistance from the government. We have all that stuff posted there. So check out our website to get more information. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. for more about how you can fight the COVID-19 and help your body to be strong. Okay? Thank you all for joining us. All right? You have a wonderful evening and keep safe.